Hey family, it's Mr. Frederick right back at you with another one, another good one. All right, guys, the good word for the day is do you. No explanations. No explanations, just do you. Um, and what I mean by that is just live your life. Life is like jazz. If you listen to jazz, it could be structured in several different ways. It could be improvisation. It could be, you could have it structured like a typical song, with a bridge and everything. You can play with jazz. That's life. That's what life is. And you just have to do you. You have to let things come to you as they will. Because remember, it's a lot of dualities in life. All right. So, like they say, what goes up must come down. In order to be great, you must lose. All of these things are true. All of these things exist at the same time. So, while you stress over making decisions in your life and what people think and explanations and trying to explain why you did this, sometimes you might not even know. Think about that, family. Sometimes God hasn't even explained to you why. You're still waiting for the answer, and that's okay. That's okay. You don't need to know everything immediately. Let things unfold. In time, you'll see a reason. It could be 40 years later, and you see the reason why something 40 years ago affects you today in a good way. And you'll be like, wow, that's how it works. Yes, that's how it works. That's why trying to explain yourself to individuals that have no more control or power than you is futile. Because ultimately, people that you're trying to explain things to, they typically are under the guise of control. And it's really a myth. You have limited control. All of us have limited control over things, okay, in situations. So who are you explaining it to? You made your decisions. You feel the way you do. You do what you do. At the end of the day, I believe in actions, not what someone says. I believe in how they live. And I follow up. With me personally, I say what I do. If I say I'm not going to go there anymore, if I say I don't like this, if I say everything falls in line. If anybody knows me and watched me over the years, you'll see that what I say, I do. I mean, I'm not saying eventually, immediately I'll do it right away, but pretty much whatever I say, I'm going to do. Now, sometimes people don't believe it till they see it. And that's why I would always try to, dealing with individuals, I would try to give people the benefit of the doubt. So that can be misconstrued as, you're too nice, too kind, or you're stupid, or no, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You're giving a certain amount of opportunities. So when you do decide to make your decisions, I'm a Scorpio, that's how we move. When you do decide to do what you do, you are sure about what you've done. You have no doubts. You're like, hey, I'm going to live and die with this. And you're cool with it because you've already given opportunities for an individual to show what they are, who they are. So unfortunately for some people, they don't believe it. They don't believe it until they see it. And I've never been that type of person. I've always been a person that I try to assess a person's personality and see if their actions pretty much match up with what they say. Now, if I see that they don't, I'm not going to believe them. But if I see, okay, this person's actions typically match up with what they say, then I'm like, okay, I can kind of go with that. But I guess what I'm saying, family, is live your life. Live your life in freedom. It's always going to be someone that's going to have something to say, that's not going to agree with you, that's not going to align with you. Maybe they don't believe you, but who cares? Really, who cares? You have to let life unfold. You have to be a student of life. You have to let the puzzle pieces fit together over time, which they will. And you have to be patient. Everything that you set out to do, it might not unfold immediately for you. It might take some time, but that's okay. You just have to practice some patience in life. Okay? And the reason why I say it's like jazz is because it flows. It flows the way it's going to go. You can't control that flow. You can't control a lot of things that goes on in life. You can't control, you might have the best intentions, but it doesn't mean it's going to end up that way. For projects that you want to complete, for relationships, for any goal that you set. You might set it, oh, okay, I want to do this in 2 years. I want to do this in 6 months. You might get derailed. It might be some natural events, nature that happen that actually prevent you from getting that goal accomplished. You don't know. But the key is to trust the universe. Trust what God is doing. And trust that, okay, this is playing into my story and my purpose for a reason. And that's where your faith comes in. That's where you got to go, faith over fear. Because some things can look like a tragedy. And in some ways it is a tragedy, but it's also a blessing at the same time. But you might have to give it time to see the blessing. You might have to give that time. And you'll see, okay, I see how this affected me in a positive way. But if you don't have the patience, you're just trying to be in control. Oh, this is not what I want. Now you're going to make another decision that's going to negatively impact you overall. You see, if you just sit back and accept, okay, this is what life has given me. This is what life presented me with. Like playing in the band. You're playing your saxophone. Okay, maybe now I need to put the sax down, and maybe I need to pick up a guitar. Maybe I need to play some drums right now. That's what the band needs. We need some drums. We need some percussions. Okay, maybe now we need some keys. We need a piano. We need a keyboard. That's the way life flows, like jazz. Being able to see and hear and move as we go. And trust in the Lord. Just trust that things will unfold. Okay, it's all right. You don't need to know everything right away. Trust it. Just trust it, Trust that things are going to go the way they're going to go, when they're supposed to go that way. Because believe me, nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. So whenever something's not looking the way you want it to be, give it time. It'll change. I think of sports all the time. And at the same time, this life is dualities. Nothing lasts forever, but it always repeats itself in one way, shape, or form. So think of what I'm saying. I always use sports as an analogy. You can have a team like the Detroit Lions that were horrible for 50 years, 60 years, whatever it was. And then all of a sudden they go to the NFC Championship. Almost went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Same thing with my Commanders, my lovely Commanders, formerly Washington Redskins. Horrible for ever since Dan Snyder had them, pretty much. And then all of a sudden, he's out of there. They pick a new quarterback, and then they one game away from the Super Bowl, just like that. That's life. Life is just like that. And the key is to stay in the game as long as you can. Stay in the game and don't explain. Because you don't even know half the time why or what's going to happen to make you respond a certain kind of way. And that's why I always say, too, don't underestimate people, okay? Because love, at the same time, what we love, we hate or have the potential to hate. That's why they always say it's a thin line between love and hate. So when someone gives you love, shows you love, don't underestimate or don't take it for granted. Don't believe, oh, this person's a sucker, this person's a lick, this person's weak, what are they doing caring about me? That person has the ability to not care about you at all, too. Remember, dualities. Everything, it's always dualities in the world. So just like someone has the capacity to show you the maximum love, they can show you the maximum hate. And that's what we see in the news. When couples go astray and one person's hurting another, I'm not condoning it, but I'm saying that history shows that when you see potential, thinking of quantum physics, anything can happen. Everything has happened at the same time, okay? The probability or the possibility exists at the same time as we exist. So what you have to do in moving through this life is understand that. Do not underestimate or sleep on someone or sleep on a situation and say, I got this. I got this locked down. If you're not walking with the Most High, the Lord, and trusting in Him to guide you, okay, to do the right things that are for you at that time, you're going to be lost. Because what else do you have? So, to me, it makes sense to believe in God. Because He is the Almighty. He makes all the decisions, but He guides you. So if you're not walking with that compass, a moral compass of what the Lord wants you to do, what's guiding you? Selfish desires, money, materialism, that doesn't last. We all know that. They try to bury riches and empires in China and Egypt, and those things are just relics. What doesn't disintegrate over thousands of years or hundreds of years, what happens? It gets stolen and robbed and put in a museum somewhere by some people that didn't even make it and could care less about it, really. So, understand that, family, that understand that. I think these are better. I need to get some more glasses. Understand that. Don't underestimate people. Don't take people for granted. Don't always think you have it locked, because the only security in this world is your faith and what you believe in, because anything can happen at any time. Okay? And that's another reason why I truly do believe in trying to do the best you can in situations and by people. You're never going to be perfect, but don't take things for granted, because you don't know. You really don't know. And that's why it's no problem with loving. It's no problem with giving your heart, putting your heart into something. It's no problem in putting your heart into people. And some people would say to me, for years, why do you love so hard? Why are you so passionate? And I'm like, why not? If I want that, I have to give it. And it's just me. It comes natural. But I also know that I have the ability to take it away too. I understand that I have the ability to be both. Both exist at the same time. I have the appreciation for what I have. For the situation that I have, whatever I have the maximum appreciation and gratitude for it. Like, thank you, oh God, thank you. I appreciate you giving me a bed to sleep in. I appreciate you giving me my right mind to exist in, to create. I appreciate you giving me breath. The bare basics. The bare basics aren't basic. Some people can't breathe. They're on a ventilator. Okay? So we saw that during COVID. So I naturally was always spiritually gifted. But I understand that all gifts come from God. So if you're spiritually gifted, you're gifted to do all things. If you're spiritually gifted, you're gifted to be a philosopher. You could be an athlete. You could be a warrior. You could be anything. You could be a singer. You could be a musician. You could play instruments. Anything you can do, because everything comes from the Lord. So I naturally was always heavily inclined with God, and I had different ideas at different times. It hasn't been consistently Christian. I'm not going to say that, but I was raised in a Christian environment initially. And as they say, the good word says that you bring a child up, he might veer away, but he will come back. And that's the truth. And I can just say that when you have that faith in the Lord, everything flows from that. You get concepts, you get downloads, if you're gifted. Now, everyone is not spiritually gifted in that way. And I'm not saying I'm any better than anyone else. They might not be spiritually gifted, but they might have just faith. Okay? They just have faith. And that's all you need. Because again, all things flow from that. Now, if you're gifted, you might have the faith, but God also gives you the ability to interpret more things so you can share with others. Every gift has a purpose. So if he gives certain individuals that extra oomph, it's so they can share it. They get the information first because he knows they're going to do the right thing with it. And the individuals that need to hear it are going to hear it at the right time. He already knows this. You see, this is why I would not respond when I would know things are going on and people sit back and be like, is this, how Remy Ma say, what is he, dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? I love how New York girls talk. But yeah, they sit back and say that. And it's like, no, I know exactly what's going on. But God's telling me not to move right now because I'm listening to God. I see what you're doing. I see everything you're doing. It's not my time to move. And this is how I know that people that don't have that connection with the Lord are at a disadvantage because they don't understand that. You're on a whole different frequency, whole different vibration. They're just going off of what they're getting right now, and that's it. And they don't see that, that I might be getting over temporarily, but in the long run, I'm doing myself in. I've been on the other end of this. I'm not God, okay? I'm just saying I am spiritually gifted. Yes, I have gift to see things and do certain things. I do. It's cool. I could share it with people now. I don't care. People probably already see it. Makes no difference to me whether they see it, believe it. I don't care. I just be me. And that's what I'm telling everyone else out there to do. Just be you and flow. Don't give no explanations for it because honestly, truthfully, family, it really doesn't matter if you try to explain yourself to people. Ultimately, one thing I learned about this world and people, they think and believe what they want to believe. When they want to believe that whatever makes them feel comfortable. If it's like a racist, that's why I always thought racist, people that hate someone just because they're, different than them are dumb. They're stupid to me. And the reason being is because no one has control over who they are, how they look, what they come to the world as. Now, don't get racism or supremacy or whatever. Don't get that mixed up with someone not liking injustice. That doesn't mean you hate white people or other people. You hate injustice against anyone. And if you happen to be a person getting injustice done to you, of course you're going to not like that. You would be insane to go along with that. So some people try to twist and say, oh, you don't like these people. No, you don't like injustice. I'm talking about a true racist is someone who's uplifting their self, and they have to have power too, okay? I always thought that was stupid. Because if you truly are confident, what are you trying to keep somebody back that you are supposed to be better than them and have more than them and more powerful, smarter, or whatever, superior to them? What do you need to hold them back and persecute them for? That doesn't even make sense. It's just like calling a black person lazy. How's that black person lazy? And you need to go bring these people here to do work for you. It's the concepts. Again, I'm not a philosopher. I don't pretend to be one, but I do have a brain, and some things just never made sense to me. So I can't see how a lot of people don't see these things. I mean, I guess they do see them, but it doesn't matter because whoever has power makes the rules. It's the golden rule. Whoever has the goal make the rules. There you go. But anyway, that's just my brain, how I conceive things, how I think of things. But I pretty much, back to what I was saying, if someone wants to believe something, they're going to believe it because that makes them feel good. There's nothing you could do to change that. So trying to explain yourself to someone that is bent on not understanding you, they are bent on misunderstanding you. They're bent on finding a way to make you the villain, make you the bad guy. You're wasting your breath. You could have done everything. I've had situations literally in my life where I've saved someone's life, curse you out, and wish death upon you the very next day. I know you make it up. Yeah, the person's insane, but still, it remains that these people exist in the world, that you can't even make sense of it. it's like, wow, I can't even believe that. But the person is out of their mind. And, you know, and it's just situations you can't control. You could be kind to someone. You could do everything. You could put them through school. You could love on them. You could fix them soup. You could bring them medicine and still tell you never did nothing for them and you're nothing. You can't make sense out of it. But what I do know is that no energy is wasted. So, that being said, you can't control others in this world. But what you can control is you. If you know you've done all that for a person and they still are convinced to disrespect you and tell you you're nothing or show you you're nothing, same thing, no energy is wasted. You've already done that. So what do you have to do next? You have to leave them alone. You don't waste any more energy. You use that energy to see and for God to show you, no, my son, no, my daughter, no more. They get no more. You're not an infinite vessel to just pour out all your energy over time on someone. You've used that energy. You saw what they whether they believed it or not, you saw what you're going to get out of that. You pull it back and you give that energy now to yourself and to others who are going to appreciate it and show you gratitude and the respect and the honor that you deserve. And that's how I live. It's all improvisation, all on the fly. It's nothing conceived and thought about and manipulation. It's not rocket science. It's okay, I see what I get from doing this. I stop doing that. That's a waste of time and energy and effort. Makes no sense. And some people get it, some don't. I could care less. That's why I say don't explain yourself. You ultimately have to live. Life unfolds the way it's going to unfold. You know, have the freedom to flow. Let life flow effortlessly. Don't overcomplicate things. You know, we need congos. Right now we need piano. Right now we need guitar. You got to be able to adjust and play your song. Play your song, family. And don't apologize or explain why you play your song the way you play it. It's not up to anybody to understand it or get it. It's up to you to get it. You live in this life. 2 generations from now, think about this, family. It's kind of scary, but it's true. You go 2 generations from now. 3 generations. Let's do 3 generations. First of all, how many people will still be here? Probably not a lot. But even after that, how many people would have known you when you were in your active years? No one, pretty much. So what does it matter? Legacy. Legacy. Your legacy is the people that you affected in such a way that they affected others. That's your legacy. How you affect individuals to affect the other individuals like that. That's your legacy. Okay? Not something that is perceived by people who never known you, by deeds that you did. Not saying you didn't contribute to the world in literature, art, or politics, philosophy, whatever. Yes, you can pass things down in that way, but ultimately, that's through your craft. Those people didn't know you. What are we going in the news now about? Diddy. Oh, Diddy, he did this, he did that. R. Kelly, he did this, he did that. Now they're saying, okay, we're not going to play R. Kelly music. We're not going to play Diddy music. Which I find funny, because if you want to be technical, are you going to play Elvis music? Do you know his history with young girls or whatever? I mean, allegedly. Okay, allegedly for YouTube. Everything's alleged. But anyone who we don't know, we're not familiar with their personal life. We don't know everything in someone's personal life, things that they've done. So now we're going to merge the craft with their personal life. That's very interesting. To me, that's a slippery slope because we don't know any of these people. We know what we know. That's all. So, legacy is what you know of someone and how they affected others. That's it. What really matters is your experience while you're here. That's what matters. So, explaining yourself and shaping and trying to do things for people to, no, let it flow. Just like a jazz song. Peace.